Hello, this is Handi Sandi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this moon-shaped witch wreath. I used items that I already had on hand, so the cost to make it was $0. As you can see, I've used paint to add some shading, and I've also built it up after I paper mache'd it to give more of a three-dimensional pattern. First, I start with this metal wreath form that I got from Walmart. It's a 20-inch wreath form, and I use this as my basic size. I'm going to use this image here that I got from the internet as my inspiration. I'm going to build the witch on this cardboard form here. First, I set my wreath form on some old wrapping paper to cut out the moon image. Now that I've got the moon image cut out, it's good to have on hand as a pattern if I want to make multiple wreaths. Alright, and here we go. The moon is paper pattern I'm placing on the cardboard. I'm going to cut it out. Make sure that I hold it down so I get details around the mouth and around the nose. Here it is, all cut out. I did have some problems cutting around the mouth, so I used these cuticle scissors. Alright, I've got the moon cut out, and now what I'm going to do is start using pieces of paper to build up the shape to make it more three-dimensional. I'm also going to cut some of this wire and feed it through the nose and the ends to reinforce it just so it stays sturdy. And this wire here, we got it at Lowe's in the fencing department. I don't know what exactly it's used for, but it's the perfect gauge for crafting. Okay, this is what we have so far. I've glued some pieces of cardboard to the witch moon base to give it some dimension, and I'm going to add paper mache. I also added some cardboard around the lips, and I'm going to do marble for the eye, and then put paper mache around to make it more realistic. Hopefully this will work in theory. I don't know, I've never done anything like this before. Here's my paper mache. Still a little hot, but it's a basic recipe you can find online. You boil 1 cup of water, and then in a separate bowl you mix a 1/4 cup of flour with a tablespoon of salt and a 1/4 cup of water, and then you mix that, and when the water comes to boil, you mix the flour, water, salt combination into the boiling water and whisk and whisk and whisk until the lumps are gone, and this is what you have. So apparently the cooked paper mache is supposed to yield clear drying results. We'll see. And then over here I have my box of pre-shredded paper strips. It's old wrapping paper. You can use newspaper too. And when we're paper macheing, we want to get it as smooth as possible. Smooth. Alright, I just realized before I start using the paper mache paste and the paper strips, putting this crafting tablecloth down. It's just an inexpensive plastic one. Makes my cleanup a lot easier. So here we go. On to the paper mache. What do you say? Alrighty then, this is what I have so far. I've covered the witch moon completely in strips of paper with the paper mache paste. Bowl is empty. I'm exhausted. We're gonna let this dry, and then we'll move on to, well, some fine tuning if we need to, and then painting. Okay, so here we have the moon. It's all dry, and it turned out pretty good, I think. It's nice and rigid. I was worried because when I paper mache'd it, had a bend to it right here. I thought I'd have to reinforce it, but nope, it's very rigid. The back, well, I'll paint the back so it won't look so wonky. gonna give it, I think from the hat down I'll paint it white, so then when I paint it the color green, it'll pop, and then the hat I'm gonna paint black, and then I'll go in and do some shadowing. Ooh, witchy wreath. Okay, so I've got the green and the black. I have to work on the lips and the cheek and the highlights and the hair. We're getting there. Now I'm going to do the shadows, and I figured the best way to do this would be to put it on my paint easel. I used to paint a lot, and when I was about to paint this, I thought, you know what, when I did my landscape paintings, the easel was easier because it's facing you and you can see the shading better. Alrighty then, this is what I have so far. Done the shading. I suppose, well, this is what I'm working off of. I guess I've got some more shading to do on the chin area here. And I think I'm gonna add this fake fur here for her hair. So, all right, I guess I'll just keep on keeping on. Casey! Look, you can't tell where Casey begins. You can't tell where the black fabric ends and Casey begins. She's done! Haha! Yay! She is done. I just have to figure out how I'm going to hang her on the door. I don't know if I'm going to attach her to the original metal wreath form. I kind of don't want to because I can use that metal wreath form for another project. I finished, I hot glued on the faux hair, and I did use some hot glue to fill in the gaps here for the marble I used for the eyeball, just to make it more realistic. But yeah, done. Cost of the project is $0. I did end up adding some of the wire on the back and glued it with a glue gun and made a loop to hang it on the front door. And here we go, the finished product. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe. Have a happy Halloween, everybody, and hopefully there'll be more Handi Sandi tutorials to come in the future.